Hey, how's it going? My name's Chris Atkins, and I'm here to talk about the organizational communication case study application discussion, where we will be discussing the Hockaday case in Chapter 5 and how they relate. So we'll go with question 1, discuss what to be the differing motivations for the virtual teams, and this is about the Hockaday case. So the virtual teams and different motivations, it was pretty clear in the Hockaday case. The motivations were to get faster time for clients and have better survey responses as far as getting the problem solved. In the Hockaday case, as far as what happened in the software malfunction, he was very clear about what the motivations were for the team members. Of course, it was good to get the problem solved. The lack of solutions as far as getting the problem solved was an obvious problem due to the fact that it pretty much made everyone have a meltdown. So that would be the motivations for the team members. How would you describe the LMX in this case? Well, I have the LMX. The definition of LMX is findings indicate that the quality of the LMX strongly influences subordinates' communication satisfaction in interpersonal, group, and organizational contexts. So the personal feedback and supervisory communication in this case was obviously flawed due to the fact that there were so many different members pulled from so many different locations. So the communication was broken or flawed from the start due to the fact that there wasn't a set ground of rules as far as the language used, the cultural aspect as far as people being pulled together from different locations. They may not have a strong connection as far as how they communicate, and so yeah, that can definitely break down the LMX as far as how the members of the group feel they are being communicated with, and their satisfaction that how Mary responded or how Jim would respond to the team members. So number 3, describe how peer relationships might be improved for this virtual team. So if it were on me, I would just say that to improve these virtual teams, I would have to have individuals pulled into teams that shared the same cultural values as far as language, maybe even like we're talking about in this chapter 5, the same kind of maybe looks, behaviors, stuff like that. Even class can come into it. That can improve the peer relationships on the virtual team. Number 4, discuss how technology influences the interpersonal relationships for the virtual team. I feel that technology is very important when you think about virtual teams, how people respond to each other, how they interact. I can't respond on a virtual team with someone in Germany who's so many more hours ahead of me. Their noon time. If they had a problem at noon, I couldn't be expected to get up at in the really early hours in the morning to respond and be able to function as a functioning group member. That can definitely hinder a situation. Are there cultural influences in the virtual team which need to be understood? I feel that there are cultural influences. Like I said before, there was a major breakdown as far as language was concerned. Even with people trying to jump ahead and forgot who it was that wanted to take over Mary's position once the problems did arise. There's a major cultural issue. People aren't used. Some cultures are used to taking the lead. Some people, even in the Asian community, were people more quiet or more reserved, and confrontation is frowned upon. That can be a major cultural problem if you are pulling different cultures together and expecting them to interact. So virtual teams can have cultural influences and can have cultural problems, and that needs to be understood in the Hockaday case, because there definitely could be major improvements when it comes to stuff like that. So with that being said, that is my organizational communication case study application, and I appreciate your time. Thanks.